All right, welcome back, everybody, to Coffee and Art in the Morning. I'm Dede, and we are on Ustream.tv. And so, if you're watching this recording on YouTube, thanks for watching the recording. We have a live chat, mostly live people. We have a few nappers, but overall, we have live people. And so, I'm talking to a live chat while I'm working. So, I want to finish up the Bennett Klein Oh Dear page that we've been working on. I am going to, let me move my coffee. I am going to zoom in quite far and finish this. And then I have another big napkin poster project planned after this. So I bumped the camera. Sorry, guys. So if you all have any questions, put them in caps if you have questions for me. So I know you're talking to me because the chat rolls by pretty fast. I try to keep up with everything, and it's good to see Eileen, the enabler elf, stopping by and getting better. Hey, Colleen, we've already shown Bandit. Bandit's been supervising Eileen and Terry in the corner this morning. Yeah. So, yeah, Bandit is our, let me show the picture again. Bandit is our mini bar guard. There's our guard dog for the mini bar. And when Terry Trouble and Eileen are together, yeah, he's on guard. Let's just say he's on guard. All right, so let me go ahead and zoom in, guys. Get my camera zoomed in quite a bit and refocus. Where's my Sherry card? Hang on, guys. There it is. This helps me focus because the camera loves this pink for some reason. I need to brighten it up just a tad there. Okay, there we go. I think that's pretty good. Guys. Y'all let me know how that looks. So what I want to do, I'm going to stay zoomed in while I work on the parrot and these feathers, and then I will probably, and the little bracelet, and then when I start working on finishing out the border, then I will, he's being pretty nice to you today though, Terry? Okay, good. No, what it is, he's not behaving. You are behaving, Terry. Thanks, Vicky. Okay, so I want to, and for I have references. Like I looked up some little parakeets. I looked up some hummingbirds when I colored those, so that I was, I wanted them accurate in their colors. So I have a parrot here. I'm just looking at my iPad. I have my iPad right here. Hang on, let's get my picture of a parrot. I found a couple, two or three different pictures for each thing, and so I can just kind of decide which ones. For the parakeets, I had some green ones, some blue ones. There's all kinds of different ones. And for the parrot, I'm going to go for the bright, colorful one that's red, yellow, orange, and blue. So he's going to be very colorful. So I'm going to try to get crack-a-lackin', guys. I want to try to get my pencils here. So right now I'm just using a pencil tray right now. It's a silverware tray, a silverware drawer, and I have my most used pencils here. I keep my pencils bundled like this is how I store my Prismacolors in bundles like this. Like this is the dark yellow orange one bundle. So I just bundle them up with some rubber bands. But when I'm using them constantly, I'll pull whatever I'm using, and especially when I'm doing portraits. These are my main portrait skin color pencils that I use. So you can see there's a lot in there. And so I keep those separate, but I have blue and green, red, pink, and purple, yellow, orange, and this is a kind of a red orange. And then I have grays and neutrals. So that's just kind of how I have it set up. But the bulk of my pencils are in another tray to my right in bundles like this, so that I can easily pick up a bundle of that color. Like here's the green bundle. So like that. And these are Prismacolor. I have a few other brands that I use occasionally, but this is the sets. Even though we just read the How to Sharpen a Pencil book, if you missed that, if you missed my Happy Mail today, you need to go back and look at that. Just saying. So anyway, I am going to get started on coloring this little parrot. And just so that you can see, oh, now I got to refocus again, guys, because I put those pencils up there. Oh, maybe that's okay there. Hang on, it's darkening just a tiny bit. Let me refocus, guys, just a tad. Let me get my hand out of there. Hopefully that's good. Okay, it's a little off, but I might be zoomed in too much too, but I think you can see. Okay. All right, so he's like I said, he's red, yellow, orange, and blue. That's the kind of this kind of parrot that I'm going to do with gray. Uh, has gray and black accents in his beak and his feet. So I think I'll just go ahead and do his beak and his feet first. Hopefully y'all can see, guys. I'm going to get a couple of shades here of black, gray. It's kind of a brown, not more of a black, dark gray here. If y'all have any questions, just put them in caps. Hey, Jeannie, good to see you. Anybody else I missed? Thanks for being here. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and start with this. So the bottom half of his beak, I don't want to get it too dark because I don't want to lose his beak into the background, right? I just want to add a tiny bit of black to go over it with the gray. And hopefully we can get this done in about an hour. I don't know if we'll finish the whole border in that time too. But even if I don't finish the border, you'll at least see how I'm going to do it, and you'll know how I did it. Okay, so just want a little bit of, not too much. I want to keep it really light. I want to keep his beak really light. Can y'all see okay? Are we focused enough? Is it too light? I might need to darken it a little. I don't want to get it too dark, but that's right there is truer to color on the pencil, but it makes me look like I got this nice glowy tan. But that's truer to color. Okay, so I'm going to do his, I'm going to just put a coat of the light, the gray on his little claw, not claw, on his foot there, and add just a little bit of shading and just a little bit more shadow, just a little bit like that. If you don't know how small I'm working here, let me get a ruler here so you can see. This little bird is, he's like 3 inches right there. So it's a tiny area. The whole page is only 8.5 by 11. So, okay, all right. So we're gonna work with that. And I think I'm going to add just a little bit. His little face around his eye here is white, but I want a little bit of, that's too light, I want a little bit darker blue. I just want to use a little blue for a little shadow on the around the eyes there. But it's white. I want to keep it light. Just, I want to keep them kind of realistic looking. The pencil showed the scale. It's tiny. Yeah, exactly, Carrie. All right, so there we go on that. How's the cat sitting going, Carrie? How's the cat sitting going? I'm going to blend with a little bit of white. Just kind of blend it out a little bit. Like that. And I do want to add, I'm just going to take my Sharpie pen. It's not a marker, it's a Sharpie pen. You can use your pens, your microns, anything. I just want to darken up his eye, his pupil, just a little bit there. I did that on these birds as well. All right, so now I want to get a couple shades of red. He has light yellow, orangey red, and he also has deep red, like magenta red. So I'm going to go with, this is poppy red, which is really quite orange, crimson red, and what is this one? it's a purple violet color. That might be too purple. Let me go with the magenta. I think I want to go with mahogany red. I'm going to go with mahogany red. So let's see. She went on a leash? She'll go out on a leash? That's nice. I didn't, I've never owned a cat that would go on a leash. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and put a light coat of the, it's called poppy red, but it's really a dark orangey red. Okay, and so I'm just going to put a light coat. The stomach, the leg, and about that far, just that there. Okay, and then it kind of starts, excuse me, fading out on the back into orange. Now, I'm not, right at this point, I'm not coloring every little feather, right? I'm just doing like an overall coating, base coat. Okay, then I'm going to get me yellow. This is just like lemon yellow, I think. And then I'm just working down his body until it gets down into the blue. Sorry guys, let me get a sip of coffee here. And then I just want like a true blue. Yeah, true blue for the rest of it. And again, this is just the base coat. We're going to shade in. And again, I can't over stress to keep a light touch. If you, and I hear it every day, people tell me, oh, you're so right, you do have to keep that light touch because you can't do a lot of blending if you've got layers, if wax buildup, right? So, all right, so there's our base color right there. All right, so now I'm going to go back to the orange, the poppy red, and I'm going to just start darkening some areas here under his little chinny chin, on top of his beak. That. And I'll start kind of doing a little shading on the individual feathers. And I'm going to go into with just the crimson red down here where it's going to be darker down by his foot. In any place it's going to have just a little darker red. Just a few like accented feathers. And I'm going to go in there with the mahogany and find the real dark shadows in the red area. So thanks everybody who's been with me. I think this is part 9. I think we're going to be able to pretty much hopefully finish it in 9 parts. We may have to go into 10 parts. We'll see how this goes. I'm trying not to rush this because I just want it to be, you know, I wanted to show a full process without trying to rush, just so that you can see that if you're coloring these kind of detailed color books like this, hey Trina, how long it can take. Okay, now I'm going to just go over the whole thing and kind of blend it out with the orange. And then start pulling some of that orange down in these feathers. And if y'all missed it, this is the Color My Sketchbook 2, 25 Grayscale Sketches by Bennett Klein. I have 1 and 2, and I saw that he came out with a 3rd one. I know for a fact the 3rd one you can also get digitally if you want. I'm not sure about 1 and 2 if you can buy those digitally, but I know number 3 you can. And Suzanne gifted me these 2. So It's already been 9 parts, so this is part 10. Thank you, Vicky. I lost count. But that helps me when I number the videos. So now I'm just going to take the yellow and just kind of blend that in. And now I want to get just a little, maybe a little yellow ochre here to, for the yellow area, just to have the shading, a little bit of yellow ochre over the grayscale. And the thing about the grayscale, you know, it's already got your shadows for you. So you don't have to always follow exactly what is there, but it gives you a guide to where your shadows are. Okay? It's like that. Something like that. All right, now I'm going to go in here in the blue. The rest of this is the blue, and I'm going to start, you know, just picking out some of the individual feather lines. Like this. Some of the shadow. Yes. Yeah. Oh dear. Yes, Suzanne. Oh dear. Oh dear. There's a third one. Yes. Oh, I saw it on Facebook. So, yeah. Bennett has commented on this picture, and he really liked it. So we want to do him proud with this last bit, right? I want to do him proud with the last bit. All right, now I'm going to get a darker blue. I think this is called peacock blue. No, that's the dark green. I want peacock blue. Is that it? No, no, hang on. It's in here somewhere. Where's my peacock blue? Well, I'm not finding it right off here. Might be over my... It's just done disappeared on me. Okay. Yeah, here it is. Here's my peacock blue. Let me sharpen. Oh, oh, oh. Maybe I should get a refresher course real quick. If y'all missed my Happy Mail, watch my Happy Mail today. All right. I'm not going to let y'all see me sharpen. Oh my gosh. After we did that segment. Okay. I do have pencil extenders. I've got a couple of them here. Where's the one I have here? Like this. So you can get these pencil extenders. This is just a wooden one from General. Get these at Hobby Lobby. National Art and General. They're the same company. Well, they used to be. I don't know if they still are. But anyway, it's just like a little metal tube. You can put your pencil in there, and it's like pressure sensitive or whatever. It just slides in and holds it, so you can have a longer pencil. You gals. All right, so now I'm going to just get in there with my peacock blue and just throw a little shade, as Paula would say. Okay, something like that. Just kind of going down the feather lines. It's very tiny. You only can get so much detail in there. Yeah, be careful. Yeah, you only get so much detail in there, you know, without getting in there with like a gel pen or something, right? All right, so now I'm going to take my white. No, I'll take my light blue. I'm going to take my, this is, I think, baby blue. What's it called? Cloud blue. I'm going to take my cloud blue and start blending each little feather. One by one. And then if it's still too, it needs more shadow, then we'll get a little bit darker blue in there. I've really enjoyed coloring this. And I know it's been a lot of parts. It's been, like Vicki said, 10. This is part 10. But it does also show, it does show you how long it takes. And I'm not going to diss on, you know, speeded up videos. But when you watch a speeded up video of a color book or any process, you have no idea the real true time it takes to do something. you know, whether it's a drawing, a painting, a color book, or whatever, you know. And I understand not everybody has time to watch long videos, but you know, over here on Ustream, that's what we do. We stream, and so I have tried to upload my videos into 1 hour or thereabouts segments, and but there's still multiple parts because it takes a long time, and it's just good to see sometimes how long it takes. It could, oh, you were asking me. Okay, it's either 9 or 10. It's either part 9 or 10. I'll put 10 when I save the video, but I'll look and I'll change it if it's in fact whatever, you know. Yeah. Well, thanks, artsy girl. All right, so it does need a little bit darker blue, so I think I'll get my indigo, my indigo blue, and get in there just a little bit more. A few little darker areas. But I enjoy the process. I'm a process gal. You know, I enjoy the process as much as the end result. Now, I do have to say that when I'm doing portraits for people, of course the end result matters a lot because that's all the, you know, the person buying a commission will see. But I love the whole process of all the projects that I do. And, you know, so if it takes, some of them take longer than others, and, you know, okay, something like that. I think that's good. Now I'm just going to go back in there with just a little bit darker here, just a touch here and there of a little of the darker, the poppy red orange on top of the lighter orange, just in a few spots to make it look a little more fluffy. Make them a little bit more fluffy. Same thing for the red, just a few little areas to make them look a little bit more fluffy. You can kind of blend them out. And I'll take the yellow and just kind of blend those little feather bits out a little bit, something like that. I still think it needs a little bit more shadow underneath, so I'm going to go in here very lightly with the mahogany red and just give it a little extra shadow under this section of wing. I really wanted to have a nice pop, a nice contrast there. So I'm just going there like that, something like that. But you know, I want to blend it in too, so let me go in there with the orange. Just kind of, it's lots of light layers, guys. That's why you can continuously blend, blend, blend. It's because of light areas. Hey, Sarah O. By the way, Sarah, well, it's too close for you to see, but I'm using my, I don't want to tilt it too much, Little Miss Crafty Pants cup. Yeah, we're really zoomed in here, guys, like 8 times. All right, so I think that's good. I like him. What do y'all think? Do we like it? I like it. I think I'm going to take my white Posca pen and just add the tiniest bit of highlight over the top of his beak, around his eye. He's going to look angry if I'm not careful, so let's not make him look angry. Just add a couple little bits of little white feathers coming out, maybe. Just the tiniest bit. Can y'all see that? Thanks, DeMonte. Yeah, well, I like doing the process. I love streaming, guys. I love streaming. Talking to y'all while I'm working, it's awesome. Okay. So I think I'm going to leave it at that and call him done. I think it's got enough. What do y'all think? I really like it. So I'm going to come down here to the feathers. Now I got to decide what color feathers I want. Do I want to keep them in neutrals? I'm thinking some grays. I'm thinking I'm going to like some gray feathers. I did save a picture of some feathers somewhere. Let's see what No, there's my hummingbirds. Where did I save my feather? Ah, here we go. I wanted to kind of put some, you know how feathers, they can have color stripes, like stripes. I kind of almost want to put some grayish kind of stripes in here. So I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to do these in gray, maybe a little bit of blue. We'll do them in gray, brown, and blue. A little bit of brown, but I really want to keep them gray. So let me dig out a few shades here. There's a light one there. I don't know where my dark gray went. Where'd my dark gray go? I need black. And I'm going to put away, this is why I have a little piece of tape around my indigo blue. You like the hummingbirds? Thanks, Bonnie. Because it looks just like a black when they're sitting next to each other. You can't tell. So I always put a piece of blue tape around the indigo blue. But I'm looking for my grays. Oh, here we go. Here we go. They're over here in my neutrals. Okay, so I want a dark gray. There's a light gray. I want a medium gray. Let's see which one of these I like better. Kind of like that one. That'll be enough because these feathers are small. Again, it's probably about an inch. Right, I don't have a lot of real estate there to work with. All right, so let me kind of move this up so we're under the camera. And I'm going to start by just taking the light gray, and I'm just going to put a full coat. I'm going to put an initial coat. This is too browny gray. I need a different lighter gray. Almost too brown. It has too much brown in it. Here, let's try this one. Oh, and the colors, some of them are hard to read because they're gold on gray. I think this is light. What is that? Light French gray 30%, I think. Then I have cool gray 50%. That's the name of the color, by the way. 70% cool gray, black, and blue. And the blue is slate gray, I think. Yeah, blue slate, which I need to sharpen. I need to sharpen. Oh, I need to sharpen. So we got to do this. We got to do our thumb exercises. Do our thumb exercises. According to the book, we got to do thumb exercises. All right. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and put a full coat of the light gray over the whole thing, just to kind of get rid of the white. And I already started doing these little cabochon things there that are holding. I'm not sure the real word for those. The hold the feathers together there. So you can see how it looks different with just one light coat of gray. You like my thumb exercises, Vicki? So just a nice light coat of gray. Okay, now what I want to do is I want them to have like those striped striations. So I'm going to take the darkest gray, and now I want to leave those light lines down the center. The light lines down the center of the feathers, I want to leave those light. But I'm going to kind of work in my own, these aren't there, I'm just going to put them in, my own stripe in the feathers. Hope y'all can see that. Yeah, it's showing up. Something like that. And then on this one, maybe I'll put them down further here. I'm just going to make them a little varied. Then maybe up here on this one. And don't ask me what bird they came off of. I have no idea. Something like that. I'm going to do the same over here. Now, I'm not going to necessarily have to duplicate it exactly, although a lot of his images are like a mirror image, like, you know, the flowers here and all that, the hummingbirds. I'm not trying to duplicate the stripes, mirror image the stripes exactly. I'm just going to keep them about the same distance apart so that you can kind of see them. So now I think I want to take the blue and I'm going to put a little bit of shadow right along the middle, that line going down the middle of the feather. I'm sure there's a name for that, feather spine. I'm going to go down the feather spine with just a little bit of blue, just to make the spine a little bit more contrasted. And now I'm going to take a dark gray. Which one is this? Cool gray 70. It's dark. And I just want to get right along the little feather spine and just go down on the stripes. See how that makes that just a little bit extra contrast there. It makes it pop out a little bit more. And you go back in there and blend it out a little bit. Something like that. And then also right up here under the cabochon, they're probably going to have some little shadows up in there. Something like that. Let's do that on both of them. Now remember, guys, all these things that I'm doing, you can translate them into other projects. It doesn't have to be that you have to do this exact picture. All the techniques can transfer into other projects. Any questions or anything? We good? I don't see any caps, just people talking. Hopefully chat's rolling. Hey, Dr. Di. Anybody else popping in? Someone getting a tattoo removed? Ouch. That's gotta hurt. You getting done with lasers? If that's what you're talking about, and I don't know if it's Pap or Di or who. Your sound got weird? Okay, let me fix it. Okay, tell me if this, I switched it and switched it back. Is that better? Let me know if that's better. Now I switched it and switched it back. Yeah, sometimes that just weird things happen with the sound. I did switch it, so tell me if that's better now. Okay, I'll wait because I know there's a lag. So tell me if it's fixed now. Bueller, good now? Okay. Yeah, by the time y'all see, I switched it like 30 seconds ago. And y'all are just, seeing that. Okay. All right, so there we go. You can see that little feather. Now I think I want to add just a little bit of a tan color. Almost like a peachy tan, like a flesh color, just to give it a little bit of a hint of a brown to it, just because I want a variation in the colors. So I'm just going to, throw in a little peach here and there, just to kind of throw that in. Okay, and then I'll take a little bit of a brown. I don't want to get into any red browns. All right, we'll just go with light umber. And I just want to, just kind of feather, feather in. I want to feather in just a little bit of sharp lines, like brown lines. I don't want to lose my gray stripes there. Eileen leaving? Or she's well, I still see her here. It's so good to see you, Eileen, and have you here. Okay, on the little cabochon too, I think I'm going to do a little bit of rolling on that. Just a little bit of shadow there on the cabochon. And I don't know if that's what that is exactly, but that's what we're calling it. All right, and a little bit of shadow behind that feather. Same for this one. I want to put a little bit more brown shadow on there, and then just kind of flick in a few brown lines. I'm trying to make it kind of look like a real feather, right? Okay, and then the other thing to do, I'm going to go ahead and take my white Posca, and if you don't have a white Posca, you can use a gel pen or even a tiny brush and white acrylic paint to pick up those, you know, if you want to get some white, extra white highlights here and there. So I'm going to use that, but I'm going to pick up just a little bit on, a little bit of a highlight on the cabochon or whatever feather holder. And if you get a harsh line, just kind of touch it with your finger and kind of make it blend out. Then I'm very light. I'm almost going to kind of skip over the feather spine, so it's not just a straight line, but kind of just a few little bit of a highlight down the feather, but not like one solid, not one solid line. Just a little bit of a highlight like that. And again, this is just, I'm just talking out my process and how I'm doing it. It's not the only way. It's not necessarily the right way to do any of this. It's just the way I do it. I'm doing it. Okay, so like that. And then I think I'm going to just put a couple of, on the tips, I just want a couple of little white feathers, because I just want them on the tips of the feather, like the feather is just white at the very tips. Can y'all see that? It kind of shows up. Same thing for this side. Just want the very tips of the feather to have a little bit of white. Like that. So they just kind of pop at the end. It does make a difference, doesn't it? And again, you can. This is just an acrylic paint in a marker. I like it because it has good coverage, but you can just use white paint too. But they're only, these Posca pens, I get them at Jet Pens. They're like $1.99, and I get the fine tip ones. They're I think it just says fine. It's all in Japanese. But it's the fine point, the small point. But they're only a couple dollars. I order them 3 at a time. All right, so now I think what I want to do is on her little bracelet here, I think I'm going to do I want emeralds? I think I'm going to do it emeralds. So I'm just going to take a lime green and just go right over the whole thing. Then I'll get a nice grass green and kind of go around each little emerald. Then I'll go in there with a dark green. Let me sharpen it because I need a nice sharp green to get in there. And I'm just going to go give it a little bit of a roundness. It's very tiny. I mean, it's literally the point of a pencil size. Okay, so I'm going to go in there like that. Now I have a gold and silver gel pen. I could probably go in there with a gold gel pen. Let me see. I can put my hand right on it. Where's the silver? Where's the gold? Oh, I see the silver one. I'm not seeing the gold one. Let me look a little harder. Looking through my pens over here. I'm not seeing it. So I have a gold gel pen, but I can't find it, so we'll go with silver. So I'm just going to take a silver gel pen and go around just a little touch right there where the cabochon or the jewel would be held in. And then I'm going to take the white Posca and just dot each little jewel, each little emerald with just a touch of white. Like that. That's got a little too much white. Let me go in there with the green again. I just want it like a highlight, not a pearl. But that's just in my head, that's what I'm envisioning. Something like that. Now I kind of want to separate that leaf from her arm, so let me go in there with the dark brown. That's not dark enough. Go in there with the dark brown and separate her hand from that leaf there. And then I'm going to blend that in a little bit better. Hey Shauna, bye, hi and bye. Thanks guys for popping in. I try to catch you when you come in, but sometimes, you know, I miss you. Alright, now I'm going to go in there with the umber and just blend that out just a little. Now remember the other thing that I like to do, when you color any areas is now go back in there with your black pencil, and because your pencil, little shavings, little bits of pencil can kind of get on the black, which by the way, the black that I used to do this with was just the Pitt brush pen, Faber-Castell. That's what I did to use to color the background. It was just a brush pen in this case. In larger color books, I'll just use black acrylic paint, and especially if I'm doing washes of acrylic paint, I'll just use, you know, acrylic paint in the background. These are so tiny. What I've done is pretty much gone through most of them and done the black. I've done the black already in the backgrounds. So yeah, I have done that on some of the other pages. All right, so now I'm going to take the black and I'm going to go around the cabochon, and it just crisps it up. It sharpens it up. And then on the feathers, I can kind of pull in. Oh, let me show you kind of close how I'm doing this. I can just take my black and just kind of pull in like that, and it will make it more of a feather look. I hope y'all could see that. I'm pretty zoomed in. So I'm just going to go in here and pull out a few more little feather indications and sharpen up any edges. You know, like all around here, longer skin. I've already pretty much done all that. But just so y'all know that it's a nice little touch when you finish an area like that and you have a black background, just to go in there and sharpen those edges nice and crisp. You may not think it makes a difference, but it does make it pop just a little bit more. Yeah, use them more. Now, again, I'm using I haven't had too many problems with the Faber-Castell brush pens going through to the other page. It doesn't on this, and this is pretty thin. But always test, you know, especially if you're not using this exact pen, brush pen, you want to test to make sure it's not going through. Again, if you have a one-sided page, it's not going to matter, but you still want to put something behind it to make sure it's not going through. Okay, so I'm just sharpening up and pulling in a couple extra little feather indications there on the edge. These little details make a difference, guys. It really does. You may not think so. And again, coloring a page like this is going to depend on how much time you have or want to spend. We're up to probably 8 hours now, maybe, on this. I mean, it's like nine parts, and a couple of parts were 45 minutes, but you know, they're an hour, 10 minutes. So I'm guessing somewhere around 8 hours that we've put into this piece. So, you know, you might want to frame it by the time you get done. You know, you might want to put a frame on something you spend this much time on, right? So I'm just putting a couple little extra oomphes here and there. Okay, sip of coffee here. All right, so I think you get the idea there around the edges. Just kind of looking over the whole thing, seeing if there's any little bits where I need to make sure the black is nice and crisp. Now I have to say I have not decided on what color I wanted to add into this border. I'm thinking it would probably be good to have like a blue, just to bring out the little bit of blue that's here and in the birds. I'm thinking that blue might be pretty around the border. And it's pretty tiny. I'm deciding if I want to do, you know, what I want to color it with. Good, thanks. And hey, Tammy, and anybody else popping in? Hey, Jamie. So yeah, I think that will kind of finish those feathers. Just reading chat for a minute. And I'll zoom all out and refocus and everything so you can see the big picture. But I wanted y'all to be able to see me actually coloring every bit, right? So I think we're good with that. Now again, the border is just here and along the top. I just haven't decided, do I want to color it with pencils, markers, what I want to do. I haven't decided on the border. I'm thinking blue would be good, but then when I get over here, we're going to lose the blue. I might just do black and white. Black and white would stand out. We'll do that. I'm going to go ahead and just go with the brush pen. I want to make sure I have a thing underneath just in case. Let me get my... I think we'll just go with black and white. I think that'll be nice and crisp. Oh, are y'all talking about who gets killed in Walking Dead? I don't know. I have my own who I think, but I'm not going to say because we don't know. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and go with the brush pen, which is a Pitt brush pen. It's pretty sharp still. You can see that. It's just the Pitt brush. It has a B on it for brush. Okay. Let's don't get too graphic in our description, guys. If y'all are going to talk about things like The Walking Dead and stuff, don't be talking about, you know, Lucille. Okay, just saying. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to focus my glasses, get my trifocals. Really, see if I can do enough with this brush pen. It might not even be quite sharp enough. We'll see. I'm just going to go. That has like a little bit of an American Indian motif, sorta. Yeah, see, this is even, I think what I'll do, guys, is get the biggest areas. Actually, I wonder if I can just pick off a couple of hairs there. It's a couple of hairs that are, let's see if that helped any. I might have used this brush pen so much that it's not pointy enough anymore. I'd have to get in there with the pen. They're behaving? Okay. Get in there with my Sharpie pen because it's nice. It's, you know, that tiny, right? Now, again, this is not a Sharpie marker. The Sharpie pens are different than the Sharpie markers, just FYI. So I'm just going to go with the brush to get as many of the big areas as I can, but I'll probably go in there and sharpen them up. Go ahead and sharpen them up and get the tiny, tiny areas with the Sharpie pen. Okay, so I'm going to work on this for about, maybe 5 or 10 more minutes. We'll see how far we get. I don't know that we'll finish it because I don't want to rush this last bit, right? But I'm going to try to just fill in the larger areas. and that it may not be as sharp yet as I want it to be when and it's really not an exact pattern. The pattern is not perfect. I mean, it has a few different little shapes here and there that the pattern's a little, I don't want to say it's off, but it is a little off in the sense it's not a perfect, it's just not a perfect pattern. So I'm just following along what I see here, and you know, it is the way it's drawn. Okay, I need to sharpen that up now. I kind of went over that one little part. I'll just go back over it with a white pen if I kind of miss the area. It's really, I'm leaning in, but I don't want my head in under the camera. So I'm not really as close to this as I would like to be to see it really well, because it's tiny, guys. It's tiny. Something like that. So I'm going to just fill in the larger areas, and I'll go back and sharpen them in with the Sharpie. You can kind of see how it's going. See, I kind of messed up right there. What I'll do is I'll just take my white Posca pen and fix it. Okay. Come down here on the side. Whoops, wrong pen. Get these big areas here. I hope y'all enjoyed all this whole series. I love doing, coloring these pages in the detail that, we're doing these in, but you see how long it takes. We're into our third week in part 9 or 10. So it just takes a long time to do a full-on detail page like this. But I do enjoy doing them. All right, so now I'm going to go in with the Sharpie pen. Yeah, good. Thanks, Vicki. And I know I'm kind of going off camera here and there. All right, so I'm going to see if I can see this, guys. Let me adjust my glasses. And all I'm going to do is go in here and along the edges where I've already put the brush pen. I'm just going to go in here and sharpen all the little points and get the detail. But it just kind of helped me fill in quicker with the brush. Okay, this pen I think is going out. Not where it goes. So you can see this will take a while. Like I said, I'll work on it for a few more minutes. I think I'll just work on one full section rather than going all the way around, because then you won't be able to see like an area done. Let's just work in this corner. Okay, so both of them will have the little centers. Like I said, I'm going to keep it black and white. I'm going to roll it now. It smells rolling on a pencil under there. Very, very tiny, guys. Am I even in camera? I think I'll just outline these outer edges. Not nice and crisp. I think I want that stripe. Let me get my pen back again. I think I'm going to go with the stripe. And I don't know if there was fill right there, but I'm going to put one in a corner. Not looking at chat for a minute, guys. I'm really concentrating here. All right, back to a Sharpie. Sharpen up those little edges. And then I'm going to do like a little black and white checkerboard thing. It's going to go all along here. Around that little flower. Okay, I need my Posca pen. Fix that a little bit. It's very tiny, guys. Very hard. It really is hard for me to see. And down on this side, there's another little checkerboard. It's smaller. I think I need a new Sharpie pen. This one's about going out, I think. So you can see I'm just working around those patterns. Oops, I smeared something. See how it's going? Just a little bit by bit there, guys. Bit by bit. Very tiny. It's just going to take some time. I'll fix that with my pen right there. Okay. I think I'm going to stop here as far as doing the project because we're at an hour. And I will finish this and post a finished picture. And I don't know that I'll finish it today because I got the next project that we're going to work on. It's going to take a while. But this is going to take me a couple hours. I can tell. I just know. This border is going to take me at least 2 hours. And I'm not going to sit here and make y'all watch me do this when you can even barely see it yourself. But I just want you to see that I'm going to do the whole border in black and white. Let me back out. Can you kind of see where we're going with it? Need to sharpen. Okay, that little bit right there. I need to get back in there with my pen. Just kind of sharpen. It's tough in getting in those little areas. But I think you can see how it's going to look. All right, let me back out, guys, and talk about the book itself again. I think that's one more. Let me get my Sherry card, that pink. All right. Whoops, I flashed it out. Sorry, guys. That's pretty good right there. All right, so I'll just continue working on a black and white border all the way around. And I might even take this side has a white line. I probably will make another extra black line like that. There's not a thick black line on this side. I think I'm going to make one thicker so that kind of goes all the way. I'll probably take a ruler and do that so it's nice and straight. So hopefully, guys, oh, sorry, it's wanting to flash. There we go. You can see the color there. So hopefully you all enjoyed this process. Let's see, we zoom in a little bit there. Hopefully y'all liked working in it. And again, it's the Color My Sketchbook. It's flashed out, but I think you can see it. Number 2, Bennett Klein. So yeah, so we're going to go ahead and save this, and thanks everybody for being a part of the process, doing this page, and we will be right back. And thank you, thanks Bennett Klein for the nice comment that you gave me on it. I'll finish it up and make you proud. All right, guys, we'll be right back.